Good afternoon, all of my beautiful astrolites. I am live inside the house once more. My lady Juliana, she went up to visit a friend for a few moments. So it's just going to be you and I. This particular video, I was on Quora, and let me fix this here. There we go. That's better. So you don't see this part here. I don't know. But anyway. So I was on Quora a few minutes ago, and I had a question that really popped out at me. A girl's response by saying, "I don't know," after she is asked if a person likes her. Now I'm gonna assume it's a guy in this scenario. So a girl who tells a guy, "I don't know," pertaining if she, excuse me, pertaining to if she likes you or not. That's a flat out no. She does not like you. Uh, that's pretty much her way of saying, um, no, I don't like you. Um, for some reason, they went on a first date. In this hypothetical sense, anyway, they were on a first date, and the guy asked the question, and she simply said, "I don't know." This is this herein lies the problem. You should know beforehand, before you have your first date, know beforehand if a person actually likes you, because otherwise you're going to be wasting your time and money, and you're going to feel bad about yourself about it later. You're going to be like, man, I feel like such a screw up. I don't know what went wrong. I thought she actually liked me. I asked her. Don't No, 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 no. So do not ask her on the first date. All right. Know beforehand, before you plan out your first date together. That way, in case uh in case you mess up, if she's the kind of girl who's like, well, look, I already told you I like you. First dates are not always perfect. We can always try this again later. That's much better than having to ask her, because you're putting her on the spot. You're on your first date, you're asking her about it. You have to know, you both have to agree beforehand. Like, do you like me because I like you, vice versa? So, excuse me. So this question really popped out at me because I know there's um, a lot of young folks who are having this issue, and they're asking me, "Oh, Astral, um, what do I do if a girl says, uh, I don't know, or if anybody says I don't know on a first date?" Simply put, they're not interested. Um, they feel obligated. They feel obligated to have to go out with you. They want to. I don't know what actually goes through their head when they're doing this, but we need to squash this whole "I don't know" or IDK, whatever. You have to know beforehand. That's why most people or some of the people are like, uh, look, I'm gonna take a shot here. I just want to know, uh, do you like me? Because I have to know. And if they say no, that's fine. You know, no harm, no foul. If they say yes, I like you, I think you're terrific, wonderful. As long as that's not followed by, I think you're terrific, but. Like, don't be with people who are going to conflict themselves, who are, I can't think of the word right now, but Juliana talks about it all the time. Um, I use contradict. Like, don't contradict yourself that way. Like, don't use deflective. That was the word I was looking for. Don't use deflective terms. I already talked about this in one of my other videos. Oh, I think you're a nice guy, but I think you're terrific, but let's squash that as well. Enough with the buts, enough with the I don't knows. Because this is part of the reason our society's falling apart. Because we can't be honest with anybody else. We always have to feel the need. I think I get it, letting them down easy and everything. Uh, I'm gonna say but. Contradicting myself already. I get that, but you have to know for sure, because otherwise you're just gonna end up wasting your time as well as the second parties. Make sense? So be sure, be 100% absolutely honest to God sure before you plan your first date that the person actually likes you. Make sure that, I mean, with adolescents, with teenagers, that's one thing, but you really got to grow out of it, especially once you're an adult, because you know, professional professional women, they're not going to go for it, and guys aren't going to go for it either. Like upstanding men and just hardworking women, they don't have time for these games. So don't be on the first date and think it's cute and just be like, I was wondering, do you like me? Because subconsciously you're questioning yourself of why you're on the date in the first place. First dates are supposed to be fun. You're supposed to already be liking the person. And I know some people will just be like, "Oh, Astral, that's black and white. It's not always that simple." Yes, it is. It is that simple. You just want to make it harder on yourself. Don't say I don't know on a first date, because you're going to make the person feel like garbage afterwards. They're just going to be like, "Well, uh, I asked if she liked me, but she said I don't know. I don't know how to take that. I mean, does she need time to think it up?" No, 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 no. Because if she was absolutely certain, she'd be on a date with somebody who she actually liked. I know that sounds cruel, but that's the way it is. But it doesn't have to be like that. So, my advice to you, before you plan out that first date, I'm going to keep on saying it. Find out if you like each other first. Don't ask on the first date, because that's going to royally screw it up. There is no reason you should be asking those kinds of questions. That's like if you're on a first date with what's a good example? Um I'm trying to figure out a way to put this. I have a good picture of it in my head. That's like saying, oh, okay, I got the perfect example. So that's like saying you're going on a first date with the woman, and you ask her, because let's say she's a single mother. You're on this date with a single mother, yet you don't know about it. And then he asks, "So, do you have any kids?" And her direct response is, "Maybe." What is wrong with people? Find out the information first before the first date. Also, if the date goes well, don't kiss on the first date. You want to see how things develop afterwards. A lot of people seem to forget that as well. So, just another piece of advice, take it with a grain of salt. If you don't agree with what I have to say, well, tough cookie, I don't care. I'm going to tell it like it is. But yeah, just be cautious. And I like women, don't get me wrong, but some of them will do some child's play crap on first dates like that. And you want to know you ask a straightforward question, you expect a straightforward answer, but they're not going to give it to you on the first date. If you ask or if the girl asks you, excuse me, no, wait, I had that right. If you ask the girl, I don't if they like you or not, that's that's mostly going to be their to go answer. They're just going to be like, "Well, I'm not sure actually." And they'll try to play it off, be like, "Well, this is our first date. We should get to know each other a little bit." You need to get to know a little bit about each other before the first date. That way that way you can just be like, "Oh, okay, one or two situations. You're just going to be like, "Oh, okay, well she likes this, that, and the third. I think if we have a first date, it should go smoothly." Second scenario is going to be like, "Oh, wow, I didn't think she didn't like any of those things. Um, I I don't think I want to go on a first date with her." Listen to your heart first of all. Don't ask if they like you on the first date. You need to find out beforehand before you plan anything because that's going to go a long way. If you're sitting at a restaurant and you ask her that, you put her on the spot, she's going to straight up say, "I don't know." And it could be worse. She could just be like, instead of "I don't know," she could just flat out go to straight to, "No, I actually don't like you. This is our first date." And, she's going to find all these excuses of what's wrong with the whole first date. You don't want that. Let alone, you don't want to be with someone who acts like that. Find out their likes and dislikes before you plan anything. And just think to yourself, okay, so just do a pros and cons before you do a first date, basically. Pros and cons of whether you should go through with it or you shouldn't. Point blank. But yeah, going back to the because there are some people who will withhold information on the first date. That's why I'm saying you don't want to ask those types of questions on the first date because you're most likely not going to like the answer they give you. Case in point, the whole "I don't know" situation. It could be a lot worse from there. So that's pretty much my answer to you guys on Quora. Find out the information first before you plan out the first date. All right, kiddies? So that's pretty much all I got for you for right now. I hope you guys take this advice with a grain of salt. I love you all. We'll talk soon. Bye.